In 1997, in a small rural town in Colombia, Luis Soriano took a chance on something that would have a profound impact on countless lives. After graduating from high school, Luis started his career as a primary school teacher, specializing in writing and reading. He loved his job, but he noticed that his students often didn't complete their homework and weren't making any progress on their reading. As a new teacher, he initially blamed himself for their lack of progress, but soon realized there was a systemic problem at play. His students were curious and eager to learn, but their access to knowledge stopped when they left the classroom. His students had no access to books. With very little money but a desire to cultivate these young minds, Luis thought of an unusual idea. He personally owned about 70 books, including dictionaries and history books, and he decided to personally bring these books to his students to assist them with their homework. Many of these students resided on remote farms, some 40 minutes or more of a walk away, and he was aware that he wouldn't be able to carry these heavy books by himself over a long period of time, so he devised a plan to place them on the backs of 2 donkeys. When asked what he was doing, he put it simply: it's a library mounted on a donkey. And this humble project became known as the Biblioburro, which translates to the donkey library. To this day, nearly 30 years later, Luis still travels by teachers' word of mouth to visit new towns with limited resources. He helps kids and adults learn to read and write and has made an irrefutable impact on countless people. In 2010, Luis had a terrible accident where he fell off one of his donkeys and was trampled under the other, and as a result, he lost one of his legs. But after some time to adjust to his prosthetic leg, he started right back up with the Biblioburro, and Luis was recently quoted saying, "I've guided young people who are currently practicing medicine. I've guided doctors, bankers, taxi drivers, housewives. Many of them have come to thank me for the time and patience I've had with them. And to be reminded of all that just fills my soul, and that's the greatest reward."
That's an interesting story. When you said 1997, I was relatively certain the mode of transportation in this story would not be donkeys. It makes it seem much older than just 30 years ago, but this is a great reminder that not everyone has access to technology, even today. And I love how dedicated Luis is in his mission to educate young minds. Imagine having to walk 40 minutes to get to work every day, not having a car, and deciding that in order to best fulfill your role as an educator, you'd use pack animals to build a mobile library. I think that just makes Luis an awesome person. So Bethany, how are you going to tie this into our Cosmere conversation today?
I used to be a full-time teacher, and Luis's story is really inspiring to me because he didn't have money or resources to start this project with. He just had this strong desire to cultivate the minds of his students and to nurture these skills that they needed to thrive later in life. He had a problem he cared deeply about and a willingness to invest his own time and resources to make this difference.